Live streaming of SDR news coverage at HP Discover has been made possible by Intel Corporation. Check out Intel Open Port IT, where you can connect with your peers at Intel on industry topics, best practices, strategies, and more. And by Microsoft, where HP and Microsoft are working together, combining their respective strengths to deliver innovative technologies to help advance your business.
You know, if there has been one overarching theme here at HP Discover, it's been defining the new style of IT. And that's a complex topic, and we're going to try and address at least a portion of that. I'm going to welcome back Ortega Pittman. Ortega and I have had a chance to chat before. She is from the Enterprise Cloud Services portion of HP. And I guess to just kind of set the baseline, what is defining this new style of IT? How do you define it, and what makes it new?
The new style of IT, I'd like to just start off by saying our CEO, Meg Whitman, kicked off our keynote on Tuesday evening and really talked a lot about this. And it was really centered around adjusting to the changing business needs. It's a different need, it's a different pace, and that new IT is really using IT to power the business, as opposed to just having like a data center where IT is going on. It's really about the IT powering the business. So it's a little bit of a paradigm shift. One of the other huge themes that we have going on here is ways to create that new style of IT, which you've seen through the converged cloud, and we can talk more about it.
So a lot less focus on building capacity just to build capacity.
Correct.
Tying it to being responsive to a particular business need or opportunity.
Yes, you know, the converged cloud, which we've shared a lot with thousands of people that are here, are really about that full spectrum that HP provides solutions. You have traditional, private, virtual private, public. It's really about options to start your cloud journey. And we like to share with customers that we can do that from a broad spectrum. HP can meet that need in a CAPEX model, an OPEX model, you name it, you have options. And we encourage people to think about not only just doing it in this piece of their business, but thinking about the full hybrid portfolio to take advantage of.
So as the CIO is really thinking about and evaluating options here, if their objective is to control and manage their capital expense, what flavor of cloud, so to speak, is a good match to that?
Well, that's a really good question, and the answer is going to change depending on that business. And one of the things that we do to help people understand how to assess what is best for me is through our cloud assessments and workshops. So if a given company comes, it could be any industry really, and they say, well, my issue is X, Y, and Z, we will actually go to that business, evaluate their data center, and kind of give them almost like a report card, like a triage, if you use that as an analogy. Give them an assessment and recommend what's best for them. It really depends. The mission critical versus not mission critical is going to dictate which model that you choose. Other things that may vary could be, it could be an enterprise that wants to invest in the hardware and software and own it themselves, versus someone who's like, you know, I really don't need that, I just need the capacity to burst, you know, when I need it. So it really, that answer is going to depend on what the business need is, but we can give you the assessment.
That helps me to understand a lot, because you read a lot of things and you have these hard recommendations of, oh yes, you definitely need to structure it this way, and no, that's not the solution, you want this solution here. And what you're saying is you really have to have a partner to evaluate and direct the business, within the context of the business objectives, direct the conversation or facilitate the conversation.
Yes, and I think what you're describing is a trusted partner. What we try to do at HP is listen to what a customer is saying, anticipate their needs, and exceed their blind spots, you know, in terms of the solutions that we provide. Each customer is different. We've had scenarios where we've actually guided someone not to do something based on what their business is set up for. Might not need all the things that are provided.
I would think that a common scenario would be a situation where you have overcapacity on the West Coast, and your New England branch is under capacity, and where you need a way of bursting that capability from one place to the other, still within a private environment, because the type of data that you're dealing with is proprietary, or needs financial data needs to be safeguarded. And is that the typical use case that people first come to you with, or are there other considerations?
That is a use case that we deal with. Another one that is very similar is, and in the scenario that you just described, that's a situation where HP can help you with the provisioning. So you have enterprises out there that have data centers that are really underutilized. The business benefit that they could get in working with a provider would be that we're managing all of that. We don't have stuff running if there's no demand for use. We're going to utilize the appropriate ways in our data centers. Another piece that you had talked about is the whole idea of what is another type of scenario. It could be a business that's looking to really consolidate and reduce, say, hardware. They want to virtualize, or they just don't want to pay for all the lighting, heating, and cooling. They might consider a provider, to provide that for them, a data center.
And I was just thinking, as I asked that question, I really fell into a North America-centric view of things. This is on a worldwide basis.
Correct.
And I understand HP practices what they preach.
They do. We have a global footprint. We are all over the world. And one of the things that we like to express to customers is, you can have your business deployed from Brazil to New York, from Oklahoma to Plano, Texas. It depends on what the need is, and then we match it with capacity. The differences in terms of any kind of regulatory challenges would come with who the customer is. So if we're talking about military or financial, there are certain industries that require different things where you can't be as flexible, but we are able to meet all of those needs and accommodate accordingly.
What else goes into this notion of orchestrating resources for clients?
So that managed orchestration comes with our enterprise services business. So if a customer signs up with HP because they want to manage service, we literally are orchestrating their infrastructure. We're managing the licensing. They're not running around trying to figure out, wait, does my software need updating, or is this server gonna go down and I need to replace it? We're orchestrating all that is involved. We are doing it in coordinates with ITIL, best practices. Our security alliances are very strong. We are a semantic based enterprise service provider that is aligned with Symantec. We have within some of our managed solutions the Cloud Security Alliance, Star Report, as if you're focusing on the cloud environment. There are a lot of things that are blind spots sometimes for customers on a holistic view, where the managed orchestration is taken care of for you.
Right. All a part of kind of changing the focus from building capacity in a technical sense to focusing on the business need, and then using that to define this new style of IT.
Exactly. The business is what's dictating and driving what we're doing, and it's being powered by IT in a completely different way. I mean, very powerful technology. And HP Discover, where we are now in Las Vegas, we've had announcements all week. I would definitely encourage people to visit HP Discover Las Vegas. You can just Google it and look at some of those keynotes and some of the announcements that have been made.
But specifically, the Meg Whitman keynote is the one that you really want to make sure you don't miss.
Yeah, definitely. Meg Whitman's keynote. That keynote took place on Tuesday, June 11th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So you can find that, and that kind of sets the tone for everything that then followed.
Excellent. Ortega, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Andy. Thanks for having me.
Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
So that is the overview of the new style of IT that's being defined by Hewlett-Packard here at HP Discover. Thanks for joining us. We still have some ongoing coverage coming up in just a moment here on SDR News.